National Progressive Democrats is the newest political party in the country preparing to take part in the 2018 elections. Well, the party comprises Sierra Leoneans from the diaspora. Well, in the studio is JFSuma. He is the membership and policy director of the party. Welcome to the program, Mr. Suma.
Thank you for having me, my friend.
Okay, around a month ago you were here and I did ask you whether you guys had intention about joining a political bandwagon, and no sooner than that program ended than we see this new political party being born, and you are one of the key stakeholders. What's your agenda as a political party?
Our party is called the National Progressive Democrat, comprising of Sierra Leoneans of all walks of life from every part of this country, not only people from the diaspora. We have people from every district that are part and parcel of the foundation of the party. Our party is the only party that you can identify with an ideology. All the other political parties, you identify them by name, but you will not tell me what the difference is between APC and SLPP in terms of ideological difference, except that maybe APC is a communist party. But other than that, the other parties...
And SLPP is what?
Well, I can't tell what it is. That's what I'm saying. That's the problem. You cannot identify them with an ideology. Our party is a nationalist party that focuses on progressive values, respects democratic principles, and that makes the foundation of our name. National Progressive Democrat. National interest, progress in the lives of our people, respect for democratic principle. And I will explain each of those three words.
Mr. Suma, before you explain, isn't that what each party stands for in a country? Because if you talk to a member or a leader of any political party, he will say to you, the interest of his party is to represent his nationals. And his dream also is to improve the life of his people if he or she captures power.
Well, you see, it is easier said than done. When it comes to political parties, like if you go to the UK, you have the Conservative Party and the Labour Party. By just the name and the way they project themselves, you know the difference between them. If you go to the US, you have the Conservative Party and you have the Democratic Party. One is liberal, one is conservative. Both economic philosophies and principles, you notice the difference. In our case here, our values are nationalist party.
Now tell us your values.
Good. When we talk about being a nationalist party, we mean anything that has to do with Sierra Leone, its name, its image, its reputation, anything that has to do with Sierra Leoneans, the men, women in every part of the world, inside this country, we will promote, protect, and defend it. Why do we do that? Because we believe that Sierra Leoneans is the most valuable asset that we have. It is valuable than the gold, valuable than the diamond, valuable than anything else. We have to ensure that we respect ourselves before the world respects us. We have to ensure we respect our people before other people that comes to our country respect them. But on the contrary, what we have seen over the years, they have been abused, they have been disrespected. Some of them are considered second-class citizens in our own country, and most of them have no control of our economy. Outsiders are the one controlling our economy, and that is geared towards, that is because of the foundation of the wrong, misled political or should I say economic philosophies of the past, over the past 5 years. So when we talk about national, we're making sure that irrespective of who you are, what color of skin you are, what region you come from, which tribe you belong to, whether you support us now or not, whether you belong to any political party, we don't care. All we care about is you are a Sierra Leonean, then you can count on the National Progressive Democrats to protect, defend, and promote your interests in every aspect of the world. Now, when you come to progressive, we believe that the lives of our people have been regressing over the years. In the 60s, Sierra Leone was being hailed as one of the most promising nations in the west coast of Africa, if not the entire Africa. But today, when other countries like Nigeria, Ghana, they're advancing, Rwanda, they're advancing, our lives of our people are regressing. So our party is going to home in every policy recommendation that we're going to put forward. Is going to ensure that there is an interest for our people that is going to bring progress into their lives. Now, in terms of democratic principles, we believe that if you want to
stop... Before you come to that democratic point, now let's look at how are you, because with all these brilliant ideas, the question that comes to one's mind, how are you going to do that?
We have what is called 6 to 7 development strategies, all geared towards the concept of improving the lives of our people. The first pillar of our development is the realization of the dreams of our founding fathers. When they led us into independence, they were smart enough to know that they want to fashion a nation that is united, a nation that is free, and a nation that is just. Unity, freedom, and justice. So as pillar number 1, our party is pledging to ensure that we unite this nation. Over the past failure of leadership, over 56, 57 years, our nation is divided by tribe, by region, and you see the kind of myopic leadership that mess up the lives of our people. Instead of holding each other as one people, moving the nation forward, people look at people and judge them based on the tribe, based on politics. Even to give appointment to people, they judge you based on which tribe and which political party you support. That's divisive. It's against the dreams of our founding fathers.
Mr. Suma, are you not talking about the spoil system? I mean, it is not unique of this government. One will say whichever party comes to power gives position to its own people, to people who supported that party. That is not unique.
No.
Even in the United States, Donald Trump now, for instance, is appointing people who believed in him, who believe in his party's ideology.
That is true. That is true. That's where the differences in philosophy comes into play. But unfortunately, the parties that exist now don't have any specific philosophy that seeks and puts the nation as paramount, that influences the decision based on the nation. Fine, you will bring in people that support you, but let it be people that understand what they are doing, not put round pegs into square holes. That's not going to work. You bring people that do not know a bee from a bull's foot to run an entire agency, and they mess up the agency, and some of them engage in some form of embezzlement. And you talk about, we don't need sacred cows, but you have sacred cows, holy goats, and blessed chickens, and each one has given their own coverage based on how close they are to the person that makes the decision. You can't run a nation like that.
One will say when the fox does not get the grape, it says the grape is sour.
Well, you see, the good thing is we are not politicians.
So if you're not a politician, how comes you form the party?
Good.
And how do you want to rule a country if you're not a politician? Good. How would you become a president?
Good. We're not. It doesn't mean that if you participate in politics, you're a politician. No, there are people that are traditional politicians, whose lives, the end out and be all is politics to them. We came into this to fill the vacuum that has existed over the years, the vacuum of leadership that existed over the years, to stand for and defend the interests of the silent majority who do not believe into this conclave of APC and SLPP hierarchy that is dividing this nation. There are people within APC that love this nation. Some of them even love this nation than I do. There are people in SLPP that love this nation, but they've not have any option, because SLPP is not an option for them. APC is not an option for them. They were looking for a political party like our party that provide national interest, that focuses on Sierra Leoneans, so that we can establish a government of the people of Sierra Leone, by the people of Sierra Leone, that serves exclusively the interests of the people of Sierra Leone. That's the vacuum we are filling.
Suma, let me ask
you. So we are just as aggrieved as any of the people out there in the street. We decided that since the lives of our people have been surrendered to politicians over the past 57 years, and they've gotten it wrong for 57 years. Our great-grandfathers died poor. Our grandfathers listened to them, they died poor. Our fathers listened to them, they died poor. We have decided that we are not going to surrender the future of our kids into their own hands, because we don't want to die poor. We want to have a government that serves the interests of the people.
Mr. Suma, have you joined any of these two parties before?
No, I've never joined any of the political parties before.
What about any other party? Is this the first party you are joining?
This is the first party I'm joining. There was a time I was invited into PMDC. That was due to my commentary that I used to make on social media, analyzing the geopolitical problem that exists in the country, and I was able to outline what exactly an alternative force needs to do to win an election.
And
PMDC invited me.
PMDC came in 2005. They thought they were going to defeat the SLBC and APC, but unfortunately they did not.
I was not part of
I'm only telling you, the issue of third force has always been a problem in Syria.
I will tell you the reason why. But let me finish this issue about PMDC. When they lost the election in 2012, miserably as usual, some of them went and saw my writings, and a guy who is now part of APC called my attention. He says, look, man, you seem to know it right. Come and see what you can do in PMDC. So I wrote a draft constitution, a very democratic and decentralized draft constitution. I submitted it to their forum. I said, you guys, if you want to win election in Sierra Leone, you need to read that constitution and follow it. Of course, the leadership are not, you know, they're not responsive to anything that is democratic, that gives the power to the grassroots. So they ignore it. When they ignore it, I make an oath to them. If you ignore it, there are people that think like me. I'm going to reach out to them, and we're going to create a political party. And that's what led to what we have today. So if you talk about my affiliation or involvement in a political party, that was the small moment I had. I was never a member of NPMDC. I was hoping to reform the party, but they didn't accept the offer that I was making. But over and above that, our party, the focus is our people. They are our biggest prize.
Isn't that what every party has said?
No.
Isn't that what a party normally says when it is formed, when it wants to capture power?
The good thing is, the people have had an opportunity to experience the failures of APs and SL people over 57 years. So I don't care how many times they say it. Their actions have revealed who they are.
But the people also say, they've sat in the vehicle that these two parties have driven, but they've never seen you guys driving even a tricycle. So how would they give a vehicle to you guys when they don't know your experience?
Well, it's not about experience, because they've tried politicians before and they failed for 57 years.
And those guys whom you are saying failed, they also came with some of these things that you are saying.
No, that is not true. No politician have spoken in the history of politics. Look through all your archives, like the way we speak.
Have you read the ideology of President Momo when he was given power in 1985?
I've read quite a good number of them. None of them has policies that focus on the lives.
Did he not talk about nationalism, empowering and helping Sierra Leoneans? He did talk about that, sir.
They talk about it in the general term. Me, if you ask me right now, I'll give you the details in specific terms, in terms of what we plan to do to achieve unity, freedom and justice, education, healthcare and stuff like that. No politician does.
So have you heard of,
because our party is a Kumra party. When we think about policy, we think about what goes into the heart of our mothers and our sisters and our uncles, the ones that struggle. Those are the ones, the thought process that goes into their mind is what influences the decisions that we make.
Okay, before we go for a break, Mr. Let me just ask you another question. Sierra Leone is blessed with so many resources, natural.
Yes.
Now, if your party captures power, the issue of diamond and gold have always been is synonymous with Sierra Leone. If your party captures power, how are you going to make sure that Sierra Leoneans benefit from the God-given resources?
These are some of the issues we are discussing as part of our party policies. We've not quite refined them yet, but I will tell you some of the things that are already down. Since God gave us the opportunity to see some of the treasures in this treasure box of gifts of Sierra Leone that he gave to us. In the 1930s, we discovered diamond. We, instead of respecting God's own gift and protecting it for the interest of the people of Sierra Leone, we allowed others from outside to come and abuse it, take it, and enrich themselves. That has been the pattern when we had gold, bauxite, iron ore, you name it. Over the years, since the time they found the first mineral to now, Sierra Leone has exported almost a minimum of $1 trillion worth of mineral resources, if you include all the different mineral resources. If you look in our villages today, in our towns today, you will not see a semblance of what those mineral resources have benefited our people.
So what is NPD's policy, Mr. Suma?
I'm coming to that. And yet, it is our great-grandfathers who in the bushes that are being torn apart. Our great-grandfathers' graves that are torn over to extract these mineral resources. And yet those, when they extract it, instead of benefiting the lives of the great-grandkids of those great-grandfathers, they export these things abroad to benefit them. This is what we are going to do. We are going to ensure that in every mineral resources that are being extracted in this country, the government of Sierra Leone has a stake. What that stake is going to be, we've not decided yet. Have a stake in it. And in every stake that the government has, in any operation that happens, from bauxite to rutile, you name it, 15% of whatever the government realize from it will go directly into the chiefdom where those resources are being extracted. 15% will go directly into the district where that mineral resources are going to be extracted. 15% will go to the region. So 45% of every dollar will go into the territory where the mineral resources. The government, the central government, will use the remaining 55% to support other, development.
Have you read the Mines and Minerals Act?
I've read quite a good number of them.
Is it not almost the way? Is it not almost the distribution as you are talking about?
No, it is not. In fact, I will tell you one big difference. The big difference with them and ours will be, we will pass a legislation that gives rights to the people in the provinces where this mining operation takes place, to give them the right to sue the government if they fail to deliver on the act. That's not part of what is happening now.
Okay.
So what happens if you give them the right to sue? The minister will not have the discretion to say, oh, well, this month, this chief now they give, that chief now not give this. This is why I need to support a party now they give. No, because there is an act, that law. If you violate it, the chief that you don't give, or the chiefdom that you don't give, the district that you don't give, the act will give them the right to sue the government.
He is
That's what we are going to do.
JFSuma, the Membership and Policy Director of the National Progressive Democrats. The program is Podium, coming to you from Freetown. Send your messages to the number 08373-504. How do you think Sierra Leoneans are going to buy your idea?
Good. It's simple.
Is it?
There are four reasons. Let me start from the fact that we are going to succeed and the other parties, the one that emanated out of APC and SLBC, failed. They failed because the people that established those parties were part and parcel of the corrupt establishment, and they felt aggrieved and they decided to form their own party. The people don't want that. They want complete separation from APC and SLPP. They want a party that does not look like, does not resemble, does not smell like APC and SLPP. And NPD is the only party that looks like that. Now, the second thing, the parties that emanated from them were divided. They are divided, just like how APC and SLPP divided by tribe and region, so were the other parties that emanated from them. Now, in our own party, from our leadership, for instance, you have Almami Sila, who is our interim chairman. He has never been participated in any of the political parties. He was an electoral commissioner in 1996, a very seasoned man who worked in Amnesty International for many years, worked in International Foundation of Electoral Systems for many years, director for the entire African region. So he has a wealth of experience in terms of how to strengthen the democratic principles of this country. The same applies to some of us, and how many of the leadership of our party. And this leadership is just interim, because that means we're going to create, our positions are going to be vacant to create an opportunity for new members to come in.
So how is a leader elected in your party, flag bearer in other words?
Oh, that's a very good question. Contrary to what prevails in other political parties, our own leadership structure is going to be elected through a primary election. So I speak now, anybody who is a member of the party is free to contest for the leadership. But there are criteria, one of which has to be, we will do a thorough background check. You must not have criminal record. You must not have belonged to any, especially if you have been associated with any embezzlement of funds or misappropriation of public funds, you will not qualify. Because we believe that if you want to set up a clean government, you must start up with a clean political party, where the leadership is clean, they are free from any embellishment. So that's the kind of structure that we have. We have the interim chairman, Almami Sila. We have Wadi Williams as the interim deputy chairman. We have Susan Williams as the secretary general. We have myself, JFSuma, who is the policy and membership director. We have, this is the only political party that has that position anyway. We have, because others don't think about policy, Then we have Patrick Odwaya, who is our public relations director. We have Andrew Waima, who is from Kailaun, Ekisi, who is the treasurer, and the deputy treasurer. We have Andrew Abdul Abraman Conte. So there is a...
Do you have a national look?
Oh, absolutely. We have a national look, not only in terms of the leadership, but also in terms of the structure. When we have a convention, our delegates, unlike other political parties, when they begin to wonder who becomes a delegate, our delegate leadership is determined as dictated by our constitution. In the first place, every ward is entitled to one delegate. Secondly, every subsequent delegate is based on the number of membership that the chapter has. And our chapters are not by district, they're by the constituencies. So every constituency is a chapter. So as of now, the ratio is set by the last meeting we had. The ratio is set at 25. The ratio changes based on...
Mr. Suma, to win an election, not only in Sierra Leone, in every part of the world, money is very crucial. Does your party have the financial muscle?
The time will tell. I'll give you four things that any party needs to have right in terms of winning election, which we have right. The message, we have 3 levels. We have that right. The messenger, we're working on that, to home in on that. The strategy, the best, no political party has the type of strategy we have. We don't even want to disclose it to anybody. Of course, we're not going to disclose. When we deploy, that's when you know. And the logistics. Now, once we have the messenger...
falls under finance.
Yeah, the logistics falls under finance.
So do you have enough logistics?
We have the means to deploy the logistics. Our budget is about $6.5 million.
Wow.
Yes. So don't worry about us.
Okay,
we're here to win the election.
2018,
we're going to form the next government.
He's JFSuma. Well, let's go for a few more messages. Rounding up now, what's going to be your party's activities in the next coming months?
We are going to not only encourage every Sierra Leonean, irrespective of which political party you belong to, please go out and register. Okay. That's our campaign to you guys. And most importantly, the independents, those that are aggrieved by the abject failure of leadership in the country, that are not interested in APs and SLPP. If you are angry at the government, you are angry at the system, please go out and register. That's when you have an opportunity to change the system.
Are you banking on disgruntled members from the SLPP and APC?
It's not a matter of disgruntled. We are looking for people that take Sierra Leone and make Sierra Leone paramount priority to them. Okay. We are looking for people that want progress in their life.
Thank you, Suma. The final text message, please. I want Mr. Shem to tell us, as a nation where in the world has a new registered member is given flag bearership of a party. This other one says, Yaya Kagbo. Okay, says Yaya Kagbo again. I need Mr. Suma's number. This other one says, Mr. Suma, how can one be a member of your party? Suma, give your number shortly before I leave you.
Yes, you can reach us on 030-485-302.
Okay.
030-485-302. Once you call that number, we can direct you.
Till we join you again tomorrow, have a blessed and lovely day. God bless you.